So yeah, guys, we're going to get to our next segment, which is our movie news, and this is where Zach takes the lead from here. So Zach, take it away.
All right, well, Fate of the Furious won the box office for the second consecutive weekend, not very surprising, even though it did suffer a 60% decrease from its domestic opening. The film won the weekend with $38.5 million, which was still massively ahead of second place finisher The Boss Baby, which just keeps hanging around there with $12.8 million. Beauty and the Beast finally dipped under $10 million as it finished with the weekend with $9.7 million. But the big story of the box office this week was the flopping of the two new big releases. The Oscar Isaac-led The Promise had a production cost of $90 million. $90 million is what it made to make this movie. Opening weekend debuted with a massive $4.1 million.
Oof.
Ouch. Free Fire didn't fare much better. Despite solid reviews and opening on over 1,000 screens, the film only brought in $1 million in its opening weekend. Double ouch. A ton of news on release dates this weekend, as much to our dismay, we now have to wait 3 more years for the first of the 4 Avatar sequels.
Aww.
Avatar 2 is now penciled in for December 18th, 2020, 3 on December 17th, 2021, Part 4 on December 20th, 2024, and of course the highly anticipated Avatar 5 on December 19th, 2025. No news yet on when the spin-offs will be announced. Bloody Disgusting is reporting that the Shane Black directed The Predator has been pushed back to August of 2018. The film was originally slated for March of next year before moving up to February and now back to August. 2018 will be a big year for Fox's X-Men universe as well. While Avengers Infinity War will be the big release for Marvel, Fox will combat it with Deadpool 2, New Mutants, and X-Men Dark Phoenix. The new title for the film, formerly known as X-Men Supernova, had its title officially released by Fox this week.
I wonder what that film's about.
I'm about to get into it for those of you confused at home. The Supernova title added with the ending to last year's X-Men Apocalypse seemed to point toward trying to adapt the Dark Phoenix storyline, but for real this time. Well, now we don't even have to need to speculate, as the Dark Phoenix title confirms this. Whether or not we will be getting another "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch" line is still unconfirmed as of now, but we will keep you updated here on Real Talk. Avengers Infinity War and its sequels may not be filming at the same time anymore. This new rumor began when Marvel's head honcho Kevin Feige announced that they will not be filming at the same time anymore, while speaking with Collider. He did say that the films will be filming back-to-back, but they didn't want any overlap with the production of the two films. Feige also went on to say that they will not be announcing any Phase 4 plans until after Infinity War, and that they will not announce the title for the former Infinity War Part 2 because the title will spoil Part 1. Avengers Infinity War will be released in 2018, and Avengers Vision is Dead in 2019. Casting for the live-action Aladdin is underway. Variety is reporting that Will Smith is currently in negotiations to play Genie, last played by the late and great Robin Williams. In the report, Variety also stated that Kevin Hart was initially pegged for the role of Genie. I'm not sure which one of those choices I would prefer less. And the big news of this week came with the Fast and Furious franchise / cinematic universe, maybe? Because Deadline had the exclusive report that the long-rumored Hobbs Spinoff film is in the works. Dwayne Johnson, of course, plays Hobbs in the franchise, but the most exciting part of the story is that the spinoff will also include Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw. Rock and Statham stole the show in The Fate of the Furious, and their chemistry is among the best in the series. Johnson took to Instagram to thank the fans around the world for the success of Fate of the Furious. He specifically thanked Statham and promised fans to see the greatest fight in movie history someday between the characters. According to The Wrap, there was meant to be a post-credit sequence attached to Fate of the Furious to set up the spin-off. But Vin Diesel was the one who demanded it to be cut from the film, because they referred to his character as an idiot. The feud between The Rock and Vin Diesel has been well documented up to this point, but this seems very petty to me. To make things more interesting is that The Rock has since been confirmed to still appear in Fast and Furious 9 alongside Diesel. And finally, remember Han, who died in Tokyo Drift, which took place after Fast and Furious 6, which allowed him to appear in 5 and 6? Well, he might be on his way back to the series. A big problem with Fate of the Furious was how the team seemingly forgot that Statham's character killed their beloved member of their family, Han. Well, to make things easier, they might just write him back in so the audience is okay with rooting for Statham in the series, or at least give some closure through writing, because rumors of him coming back have been coming out since before Fate of the Furious was even released, but series writer Chris Morgan actually confirmed as much that they will at least talk about Han in future installments. Not sure whether or not he'll appear back from the grave, but I guess we'll see. So, yeah, you guys want to jump right into Fast and Furious?
Yeah, listen, like, I liked Han as a character. Like he was interesting to have around. You know, he knew Dom the longest out of anybody, so it was interesting to see that relationship between them. And you know, same thing as everybody else has been saying with the Fate of the Furious. It's like, yeah, I mean, granted, I was rooting for Jason Statham in Fate of the Furious, you know, obviously because he was just such a badass character. But then you have to think about on the other end of the spectrum, he killed one of their family members, you know, so it's like, why would you want to root for him? So it's just like, and then I heard the rumors that they're gonna bring back Han in some type of manner, but it's just like, what? Like, you saw him explode in an upside down car.
Would it be the most ridiculous thing they've ever done, though? Like, honestly speaking here, I don't know. I felt one of my big problems with Fate of the Furious, even though I didn't have many problems with it, because I did really like the movie, as I saw in our spoiler review last week. But one of my really only problems with it was that they just sort of glazed that over. We're like, no, we're not teaming up with him. You're teaming up with him. Okay. And like, that's pretty much how it was. And then at the end of the movie, you're just like, hey, yeah, family, what's up, guys? And so I was like, oh, he still murdered that guy. So like, I don't know, if they brought Han back, it would actually, I think it would do more good than it would harm. I think it would cover up sort of bad writing. Because they're like, oh, yeah, he wasn't dead. He hid under this dumpster. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what he does.
A family back.
But it would definitely be interesting. My big thing in Fast and Furious here is Vin Diesel wanting to cut that film. And I actually do have a little bit more detail. Do you want to go into this here? Because basically this scene, I guess, was filmed without Vin Diesel knowing it. The studio wanted to film the scene. And Vin Diesel's sister is an executive producer on the film. And she was the one that told him, and he was apparently so pissed off because he thought it was like a jab at him, and he's like, no, that's not going to be on it, blah, 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 and so they cut it from the film. Now, they still might release it in the DVD version, but the scene apparently was going to be like almost like an homage to Rocky 3, or remember how at the end of Rocky 3 when Rocky and Apollo, they're in the gym, and they're like, yeah, you know, one round, just us, let's see, like, or not one round, but one fight, like, let's see who it is that wins. And it was sort of going to be like that, where they're going to fight, and they're just to see who would win. And then right as they're about to fight, I guess Jason Statham is like, hey, why are we fighting each other? We should be teaming up, not working for that idiot. And apparently that really pissed off Vin Diesel because of the ongoing feud between him and The Rock.
Yeah.
It just seems really petty to me.
Listen, I call so much BS on this feud between The Rock and Vin Diesel. I honestly believe they only did that to help promote Fate of the Furious.
Really? I don't know. I felt like they probably did have some problems, but it was probably blown out of proportion. But now this is where I'm really like, wow, like Vin Diesel was really mad over something here.
Well, even that could have been fabricated. You know, like you never know. Like it's just
after the fact though, like a week after the movie comes out. I don't know. It seems curious to me. Like, I feel like this is probably a true story. I feel like really something rubbed Vin Diesel the wrong way, and he's like, oh, they're calling me an idiot? I'm not having that. I'm in charge of this franchise.
I don't know. I'm still calling BS. I'm going to always call BS on this whole feud that they had, because I honestly thought it was just a marketing strategy from their end, which it helped because a lot of people were talking about it, you know, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I take it however you will. But, I mean, Travis, how do you feel about all that?
I haven't cared about Fast and Furious since the first one. So
okay, moving on.
I honestly don't care.
Moving on to the spinoff with Rock and Jason Statham.
I'm looking forward to that.
I hate spinoffs. I really do. I hate the whole cinematic universe, but I am so goddamn excited for this spinoff because they absolutely stole the show in Fate of the Furious. They were the funniest part of the entire series. Yeah. The two of them in that movie. So bring it on. Like that's what I said. Like I answered one of those things on Facebook where it's like, what's this movie? Like, what's your favorite movie done by this person? And the last one was like, what's the movie you most recently seen? I said, Fate of the Furious. It was like, what you think of it? And I just said, keep them coming. Because that's honestly how I feel at this point. Like, just give me more. I don't care, man. Rock and Jason Statham were the best part of that. If they did that, I would be more excited for that than I would be for even Fast and Furious 9.
They shouldn't even make them Fast and Furious movies anymore. They should just make it like Jason Statham. The title should literally just be The Rock and Jason Statham.
That's what I would see it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would see a movie just of them hanging out for a day. Like, I really would. And so I'm really excited for this spinoff that's obviously in the works. And I feel like for like the first spinoff style thing, I feel like this is definitely the best route to go. Also, I didn't put it in the news this week, but I did read that the plan, one of the producers said, the plan is to make 2 more installments of the main series, 9 and 10, and then sort of wrap it up. If they're still making money, they'll do more spin-offs after that and stuff.
Yeah.
But looks like we're going to get 2 more of the main series, but they're going to move more into the spin-offs, starting with the Hobbs and Deckard Shaw one, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, well, I heard about the whole, they're gonna end it at 10. And I really do hope that they just eventually wrap this up. Because how much farther can you get with this? Because
I don't know. I'm not bored yet. So
I guess not. But there's gonna be a fatigue at some point. But I guess we kind of said that before the Fate of the Furious.
Like 2 years ago, they asked Tom Brady when he was going to retire. And he's like, I'll retire when I start to suck. And he won the Super Bowl last year. So listen, if these movies start to suck and they start to not do well financially, then you can talk about it. But for right now, these things are a money machine, and I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with these movies. So
that's a good point. All right, so yeah, I would have been infuriated if Kevin Hart was casted as freaking the genie.
That's just, even Will Smith, I'm just sort of like
see, like Will Smith, that's don't get me wrong, that wouldn't have been my first choice, like none whatsoever. But if that had to have been,
I don't even know who I would pick as my first choice, though.
I say, who would you want to pick?
That's the thing. I would much rather them just use Robin Williams' audio from Aladdin and put it in there.
Yeah, just use his leftover, just
dub it
stuff.
in.
Yeah,
like that. That would be my first choice.
From what I heard,
I'm okay with Will Smith. I think Will Smith would do a good job with the role.
It's just See, that's the thing. Like, I will accept if Will Smith ever actually does become the genie. It's the whole Kevin Hart thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I like him as a comedian. Like, he's a funny dude. But he's like blowing up. Like, I'm
so in your face. Like he's playing a kid in the Captain Underpants movie, man.
Yeah. Like, oh my god,
he's in everything.
Yeah, like even with the new Jungle Book movie, Jumanji. I don't know why I said that. Jumanji. Like,
same vein, I guess. Really.
Yeah, like when I heard he was gonna be with Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Jumanji, I'm like, I don't know. I can see the Rock being in there. Kevin Hart, I don't know. Like Kevin Hart can sometimes take me out of it, But it's whatever. I'm just glad he didn't take the part, So, yeah, anything else you guys can say on that?
No, not really. Just want to move on to Avengers Infinity War here.
Yeah.
They're really keeping stuff close to the chest, which I like, because they haven't up to this point. Remember the whole thing, like, will Iron Man die in the Avengers or whatever it was? And then there's like, I don't know, you have to wait and see. By the way, Iron Man 3 comes out next year. And they've just been doing that for all of this stuff. And so if they, like, obviously keep it close to their chest, so they said Avengers, the next one will spoil the title of it. I don't think it'll be that big of a spoiler. I think we can pretty much pinpoint what the plot of this first movie is going to be.
Yeah.
But regardless of that fact, I kind of understand. But I don't know. It's cool that they're not releasing anything too far ahead outside of the ones we already know of, like Black Panther or Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, it's actually funny because from what I heard, like some news just broke out earlier today where Zoe Saldana might have accidentally leaked.
Yeah, Infinity Gauntlet. I feel like she just called it the wrong thing. I feel like she just called Infinity War the wrong thing.
Well, no, she was like, because they got, they were doing Infinity War, and then during like some interview, she's like, yeah, then we have to go back in like August, something like that, to do Gauntlet. And that's how she said, she referred it to as Gauntlet. She didn't say Infinity anything. She said, we have to go.
That's probably the working title.
I would see that.
I wouldn't be shocked if the cast doesn't know the title. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't have a title picked out yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah.
They're not gonna go Infinity War then Infinity Gauntlet. That's just
sounds backwards.
You would go Gauntlet first and then War. So
Yeah.
that's definitely not the title. So that's why I didn't even put it into the news, because I'm like, that's not the title.
Yeah, I hear what you mean.
But also superhero news here: X-Men Dark Phoenix.
I like Supernova better as a title, honestly.
I kind of do too. I kind of do too. So I don't know. Dark Phoenix is very on the nose, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they're like, oh well, let's just come out and say it's Dark Phoenix. You want to do it in a press conference? No, let's just change the title to Dark Phoenix. Oh, that's even better. So
it just
we
sounds
have to make the
cliche.
announcement.
I don't know. Yeah, Supernova was actually something that was like, wow, like holy hell, like this is gonna be epic. And Dark Phoenix, like, obviously, don't get me wrong, it's probably the most epic X-Men arc, but it's just
it takes the extreme level down.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Supernova. Like, Supernova's like, ah, and Dark Phoenix is like, ah. that's the best way I can describe it.
That's perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're readapting it. Like I said in the news, but for real this time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully it can't be any worse. I mean,
Yeah.
famous last words, but it can't be any worse.
You never know.
It could always be worse.
But yeah. So moving on. Yeah, I'm. You know, it may sound like people may get disappointed. I'm happy that we're not getting Avatar for another like 4 years or like something like that. You know?
3 more years for the first one, and then the next year, and then the next year, and then we get 3 years off, which I'm really looking forward to. we get Avatar in 2020, 2021, and then not again until 2024.
Yeah.
So we get 3 years off in between there. Then we get it in back-to-back years again. Man, I don't know.
Like, what was going through James Cameron's mind when he was actually thinking, it's like, you know what? People are asking for this Avatar franchise.
Yeah,
like,
they're opening up like a theme park and everything.
Like, oh my god, like dude, you're blowing it so out of proportion.
Like, is there like any more just like disgusting thing of just like jerking off to your own work than he is right now? Just like, oh, Avatar, yes.
It's arrogance because of how much money it made.
It made so much money. He's like, we're gonna make so much money doing these Avatar movies.
Is he directing them?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's directing.
I mean,
all
to be
of them.
fair, he's never directed a bad movie.
Let's go on IMDb here.
I'm looking right now.
Literally, like,
on Rotten Tomatoes, that'll be easier.
I know James Cameron said probably this had to be like 5 years ago. He's done directing movies that aren't Avatar movies. I'm like, oh my god, man. Like, Jesus.
God, what are you doing?
But yeah,
I don't blame you. I mean,
I don't know. I could not care less about Avatar. I couldn't care less about Avatar in 2010.
I feel like he just loved Avatar so much that he's just like, he's at the point where he just needs to make more Avatar movies.
Okay, well, apparently James Cameron's lowest rated movie that's on Rotten Tomatoes is at a 7%.
Really?
As director?
I am unsure.
I'm assuming it's the Piranha Part 2.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But then he made Terminator.
It was directed by James Cameron.
And then he made Aliens. So
okay, but your initial statement of James Cameron never directed a bad movie.
Yeah, but he never directed a movie that was seen by, a general audience that was bad. I'm pretty sure that it has one award nomination though.
What, for the Razzies?
No. It won the Best Film Award for International Fantasy Film at Fantasporto, whatever that is.
Oh, Fantasporto.
Right.
That's a good category.
Anyway, besides that, I mean, he did Terminator, he did Aliens, he did Martini Ranch, which is still pretty highly rated. He did The Abyss, which is highly rated. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which I'm pretty sure is highly rated. I did True Lies.
Titanic.
He did Titanic. And then, I mean, just from there on, like, I really
Titanic, which is, like, probably one of the most overrated movies ever.
Titanic? Nah, I like Titanic.
Whatever.
That was to be fair, yeah, the story might not have been there, but but production wise, like production quality wise, that was probably one of the biggest technical marvels of all time. Like, he literally basically built the ship again. Like, that was kind of insane, to be honest.
All right, well, we're going off topic.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
I'm actually kind of upset that Predator's being pushed back to August of 2018.
Yeah, what is going on with this movie?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was actually kind of looking forward to that. So it's gonna suck that we're gonna have to wait longer. But if they have to take their time,
I'm a little bit nervous.
See,
about the August release date, because sometimes that's hit or miss. So you do get good movies in August. From time to time, like Rise of the Planet of the Apes or Guardians of the Galaxy. Exactly. But then you also get some like Suicide Squad.
Oh my god!
And can we not talk about that movie anymore?
Yeah, I know, but it's just one of those things where, man, I don't know. I'm just absolutely I'm so torn because it could be one thing or the other.
Yeah.
The best thing that I can take from this is they're not confident how much tickets it's gonna sell, so it's trying to put it in the less crowded.
Yeah.
Not that March is traditionally crowded, but it's getting more crowded each
March
year.
was crowded this year.
Yeah, it's getting more crowded each year, so I feel like they're not confident can beat out some of the movies, so they moved it to August to try to give it a better chance.
Yeah, March was over. Like, freaking Beauty and the Beast dominated freaking March.
I still haven't
Yeah.
seen. Still haven't seen that movie.
What, Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard it's all right.
Yeah. So obviously we'll get more into box office on this next segment here, Rotten Tomatoes.
Radio.
But I actually have a quick question for Travis. Travis, how do you spell pharmaceutical?
PHARMEUCITALS.
And he spelled it wrong.
Really?
Ooh.
And he gets it wrong the first time ever.
What did I spell wrong?
It is PHARMACEUTICAL.
Oh, so I did.
You put your first mistake was you said M-E instead of M-A.
Right.
So that was your first mistake, but then you made another one later. But yep, got it wrong. So first time I stumped Travis on a word to spell. We'll be back on that next week.
Now I have to
All
go kill
right.
myself. Thanks.
Oh Jesus
I want to
Christ.
be on the next one.
Ooh.
Oh man.